Okay, first, would you like to tell everybody your name?
My name is Marcus Mina.
Thanks, Mark. And a little bit about your journey to Orthodoxy, where you started, how you came to the church, and what keeps you here.
I'll try to make it very short. I was a member of a kind of extremist free church for some years, but I never kind of agreed with the doctrine. So after some years we disagreed and we just departed. Then I went on my way going to like all kind of churches, trying to see if I could find something that was kind of in accordance with the New Testament. I tried also to like read the New Testament, see how would the church be today, and it was really difficult to say how it should be. So I went many places, and mostly in my country it's Protestant churches of various kinds, and had this feeling that I came to church but I was hungry spiritually, and I just got like a little snack. I got a little food, but I went home still hungry. Everywhere there was a few nice things, but I was kind of missing. It was like it was not all there. Then after some, I think 1 or 2 years, I started to go to some Orthodox churches. In the beginning I was reading a book in English translation, Philokalia, from the Greek Orthodox Church, and I could see this literature was much more powerful than what I could see what I could read earlier in the Protestant churches. I could read passages that were kind of like rhyming with more passages in the New Testament, and at least I could say, okay, here at least we have really good literature. But I didn't understand the Greek and the Russian and the Church Slavonic languages at all. I couldn't even hear which was which one. So I went to the different Orthodox churches. There was a little Danish Orthodox church in a basement with about 10-20 people, and there I could hear the liturgy in Danish and understand it, and I kind of could see this is very close to the New Testament. So I decided to become Orthodox Christian, but this group was so small. So I decided to move on and visit what I could find of other Orthodox churches here in Copenhagen in Denmark. And I found the Coptic Orthodox Church at that time had a very nice priest here, and there was translation of the liturgy and also translation in headset with the preaching. But most was in Arabic. But at least with the help of this priest I could understand the liturgy. Also I went to the Serbian church, which was also very nice, but they didn't have a translation. So after, I think about 6 months after this, I went to conferences to check out the Coptic Church even more in Germany, and also visited at an Oriental Orthodox Church in Germany, in Warburg. And then I went home, and the priest allowed me to be baptized just inside here. And that was in 2004.
It's a long time, Vin.
Yeah.
And so far you're keeping up and everything, like you said, getting a more complete sense of the liturgy, and just you're not just getting snacks anymore. You're getting
No. In the Orthodox Church, it has a liturgy that is 3 hours. And this is like when Danish have a big celebration. We sit down and we eat for 3 hours. And by eating many dishes over 3 hours, you get a full stomach. You don't go home hungry after this. And I think it's a kind of same with the spiritual food. It doesn't take, like, you can't get fulfilled just eating for 2 minutes. You need to take your time to digest and eat the spiritual food. Even though, I mean, often I just take a little snack, but then I miss more. But now I have access to the big meal like every Sunday.
Okay. And last thing, do you have anything to say to youth, in the Western world about how we should approach people who are searching for orthodoxy or searching for truth, and how they would maybe appeal to you before you had been baptized?
Well, I think it's a very difficult question, especially here in Denmark, which is different from the rest of the Western world by people here being extremely atheistic. But I think maybe in general approach it is to understand the culture of the people, understand and respect the values. Also the way I've been reading a little bit of the Orthodox churches in different countries, and it seemed like the Orthodoxy arrives to the country. It doesn't kill everything, kill all the culture and everything, but it Christianizes the culture. Like me, for example, I drink less, but I still drink a beer occasionally. So you don't just destroy the culture. Also, I keep my language. Language is extremely important because, for example, when I speak in English now, I hear something in English. It's just in my mind. If it's my native language, which is Danish, it touches my heart. And for Christianity, it definitely needs to touch the heart. So I think it is to understand the people and understand how they're living. And maybe also to read the history of how mission has been done in these countries before. But in Denmark so far, no one has really been successful in doing a mission.
Well, maybe you can help start.
I don't know. The first bishop was actually from the Roman Catholic Church. At the time, it was still united with the Orthodox Church. He was in Denmark for a short while and moved further on to Sweden and Norway. And so they basically gave up the country. And
No, we won't give up. Don't worry. All right, thanks for your time, Marcus.
okay, you're welcome.